Right now, we are following some breaking news we want to get to right now. This is the westbound lanes of I-90. We believe this is inside the Mount Baker Tunnel. Crews are working to put out a car fire that is near Rainier Avenue South. We were watching on the monitors here in the studio, and we could see what looked like an SUV parked sort of on an angle there. It looked like perhaps it may have rammed into the wall there. And then shortly thereafter, we saw some fire retardant go down, and then we saw a fire, and then we couldn't see anything inside the tunnel. But we did see that car catch fire, and crews we know are working on it right now. You can see the flashing lights there. So I suspect if you are traveling on I-90 westbound, that is traveling towards Seattle, prepare for some delays. You may.
Yes, Steve, good evening. Well, police say not only did these fires unfold all within a half hour, they're also very close to each other, and authorities are trying to find out now who is behind all this. A window is now boarded up at this vacant home on the 2100 block of Ravenna Boulevard after a call from a neighbor last night.
We had a caller call 911 to report that she heard some breaking glass from what sounded like a neighbor's house. Shortly thereafter, she reported that the house appeared to be on fire. The fire department responded, and they were able to quickly extinguish the fire.
The problem didn't stop there. 15 minutes later, another call came, this time about a fire set to a car just a block away.
And then the fire department responded to that as well and helped finish putting out that fire.
While officers were looking for possible suspects, two more fires happened another 15 minutes later, a few blocks away, this time to lawn furniture and this canoe.
At this point, the fire department's fire investigation unit has deemed all four of those fires intentionally set, and the arson bomb squad from SPD will be continuing the investigation.
Seth Bagan has lived in this neighborhood for more than a decade and heard the news from his son this morning.
He came in and said that a house had been set on fire and windows had been broken.
And he worries this could happen again if whoever is behind this isn't found.
Since there were multiple cases of it, doesn't sound like they were targeting one person, so I hope this person gets the help they need before either someone else or they get hurt.
After having her baby, Brianna Andrews headed straight back to work in the hospitality industry. Her husband is staying home to watch the four young kids and has been on unemployment since March 2020.
I'm working a full-time job. I'm the only one who's, able to work right now because he has to be home with the kids. We can't, justify sending our kids to school with the Delta variant.
When federal unemployment benefits run out on Labor Day, Andrus's husband will lose $2,800 a month in unemployment benefits, which has been critical in helping them get by.
It's meant that we've been able to pay, our utility bills. It's, putting a roof over my children's head.
2 federal unemployment benefit programs expire. One program provides jobless aid to self-employed and gig workers. The other program extended benefits an extra 13 weeks after people ran out of regular unemployment benefits. Millions more people will also lose the $300 a week federal supplement. Janelle Parrott is a professional massage therapist. She's been out of work, caring for her high-risk daughter and mother. The single mother has been counting on unemployment benefits since March 2020.
It's everything. It's been everything.
Parrott has a pending job offer, but she's worried what's going to happen if she isn't able to find a job.
So I've been in the application process, but I have a small savings, and that's, we'll be back to square zero.
Parrott and Andrews say the threat of the Delta variant is real, and it's why people are afraid or unable to return to work.
Taking a live look at Fisher Pavilion on this Sunday, where hundreds are gathered for day 2 of the new Summer Music Festival. Hi, everyone. I'm Michelle Esteban. Glad you are with us for this early edition of KOMO News. The festival, just one of many large gatherings happening this Labor Day weekend. And with the spikes we've seen in COVID-19 cases after other holiday weekends, doctors definitely raising some concerns about what happens this time. KOMO's Nick Popham with how we're doing prior to the holiday and what makes this holiday, Nick, more worrisome.
Well, Michelle, it's just because of that Delta variant, because of how infectious it is. In all previous holidays that we've seen during this pandemic, for the most part, we've seen a rise in cases and hospitalizations immediately following that because it's a chance for people to gather and come together. But because cases and hospitalizations are already so high in our state because of the Delta variant, that's why a lot of these doctors are worried about what comes next.
The mask mandate for large outdoor events in Pierce and King County doesn't take effect until Tuesday. But this weekend, people are taking advantage of those larger events around the state. And it's those events that have some doctors worried about the aftermath for unvaccinated people who choose to attend.
I'm worried that those numbers, those horrible numbers, are going to climb even higher.
Because after Christmas, Thanksgiving, 4th of July, and last Labor Day, we saw cases and hospitalizations climb. But what those previous holidays didn't have is the far more contagious Delta variant.
The Delta variant is relentless and unforgiving.
Doctors like Jeff Duchin are concerned that outdoor gatherings like the ones this weekend could lead to even more people getting sick.
Although the risk for COVID-19 spread is much lower outdoors than indoors, the risk is higher at large, crowded outdoor events where distancing cannot be maintained, and especially where there's loud talking, shouting, singing, or aerobic activity.
And the last thing doctors want to see is even more people needing to go to the hospital because of the virus, considering most staffed beds are still occupied.
The way I'd urge you to think about this is really like World War II. People are off at war.
Dr. Lawrence Neville is the chief medical officer for Peace Health Medical Group. He's hoping that people decide to be selfless this holiday season and stay at home or socially distant from others to try and make this holiday aftermath different from others in this pandemic.
We are asking a sacrifice. And, there's a lot of talk now about, does America have a common good anymore? And I believe strongly that it does.
Now, it usually takes a couple weeks after a holiday before we can see whether it plays a role in our cases and hospitalization. So we'll continue to be on the lookout for that. But when speaking with Dr. Scott Lindquist from the Department of Health, he tells me that he expects the next couple of weeks to be difficult because of where our cases and hospitalizations are. And he expects that hospitalizations, at least, will keep climbing. Live at home in Renton, Nick Popham, KOMO News.
Yeah, people struggling to continue with this pandemic. All right, Nick, thanks very much. And as Nick just mentioned, that new outdoor mask mandate is coming. It starts Tuesday in Pierce and King counties. Both counties will require masks at events with 500 people or more. It affects everyone 5 years of age and older, regardless of vaccination status. Again, that it takes effect on the 7th. That's Tuesday of this week. And keep in mind, the statewide indoor mask mandate is still in place for public areas.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for checking out our YouTube page. I'm meteorologist Shannon O'Donnell from the KOMO weather team. You can see more of our videos right here by clicking on the video links for additional news from the Seattle area and Western Washington. Oh, and don't forget to click the subscribe button below so you don't ever miss our YouTube updates.